Cave linked to John the Baptist. Israel. Archaeologists now think they found a cave where John the Baptist baptized many of his followers, basing their findings or their theory on thousands and thousands of pieces or shards from ritual jugs, a stone used for foot cleansing, and wall carvings that tell the story of the biblical preacher. Only a few artifacts linked to New Testament figures have ever been found in the Holy Land, and the cave is potentially a major discovery in biblical archaeology. John the Baptist, who is a figure from the Gospels, now comes to life, said British archaeologist Siobhan Gibson during an exclusive tour of the cave given to the Associated Press. Matching tradition with the evidence. John the Baptist, a distant relative of Jesus. Their mothers were related, or were kin, according to the Bible. Was a fiery preacher with a message of repentance and had a considerable following. Tradition says he was born in the village of En Gerim, which today is part of modern Jerusalem, just 2.5 miles, 4 kilometers away. On a communal farm, the cave lies hidden in a limestone hill, 24 meters long, 4 yards deep, and 4 yards wide. It was carved by the Israelites in the Iron Age, sometime between 800 BC and 500 BC, the researchers said. It apparently was used from the start as a ritual immersion pool, preceding the Jewish tradition of the ritual bath. Over the centuries, over time, the cave filled with mud and sediment, leaving only a tiny opening that was hidden by trees and plants. Yet in recent years, it had occasional visitors. They would crawl through the narrow opening at the mouth of the cave, all the way to the back wall, though they saw nothing but dirt and walls. In December 1999, they decided to take a closer look. After 5 years of excavation, including many volunteers from the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, they came and cleared out layers of soil, picking up approximately 250,000 pieces or shards from small jugs apparently used in purification rituals. The explorers, or researchers, uncovered 28 steps leading to the bottom of the cave. On the right, a niche is carved into the wall, typical of those used in Jewish ritual baths for discarding the clothes before immersion. Near the end of the stairs, the team found an oval stone with a foot-shaped indentation, about a shoe size 11. Just above, a soap dish-like niche apparently held ritual oil that would flow through a small channel onto the believer's right foot. On the water-covered floor of the cave, stones and boulders were moved aside by the worshippers, and a middle path was filled with gravel, said one researcher, or archaeologist, a consultant at Wheaton College near Chicago, who also worked on the dig. Images tell John the Baptist's story. Crude images were carved on the walls near the ceiling, and they tell the story of John the Baptist's life. One is a figure of a man. The man appears to have an unruly head of hair and wears a tunic with dots, apparently meant to suggest an animal hide. He has in his hand a staff and holds up his other hand in a gesture of proclamation. James Tabor, a Bible scholar from the University of North Carolina, said there is little doubt that this is John himself. The Gospels say that John was a member of the Nazarites, a sect whose followers didn't cut their hair. Yes, he had long hair, and that he adopted the dress of the ancient prophets, including a garment woven of camel's hair. On the opposite wall is a carving of a face that could be meant to symbolize John's severed head. The preacher had his head cut off by Herod Antipas after he dared take the ruler to task over an illicit affair. Filling in the gaps, the Jerusalem Archaeological Field Unit, a private research group, says that the finds and the proximity of John the Baptist's hometown are very strong evidence the cave was used by the preacher. All these elements are coming together and filling the picture of the life and times of John the Baptist, said the researchers, who have written a book about the dig, The Cave of John the Baptist, to be published this week. A third of the cave has been untouched or left untouched for other archaeologists to explore. The cave could now help bring to life a very important part of the New Testament. More proof of the validity of the Holy Bible and the New Testament. Well, actually all of it. We actually have a geographical location near Ein Kerem now, at which water purification rites were conducted that go back to at least the 1st century and connects them to the traditions of John the Baptist. The scientists and researchers have said this is a very important finding, or more evidence, more new evidence of the Holy Bible, the validity of the Holy Bible, to add to the point that scholars are hunting for missing pages of an ancient Bible. The quest is underway on 4 continents to find the missing pages of one of the world's most important holy texts, the 1,000-year-old Hebrew Bible known as the Crown of Aleppo. Crusaders held it for ransom. Fire almost destroyed it, and it was reputedly smuggled across Mideast borders, hidden in a washing machine. But in 1958, when it finally reached Israel, 196 pages were missing, about 40% of the total, and for some Old Testament scholars, they have become a kind of holy grail. Researchers representing the manuscript's custodian in Jerusalem now say they have leads on some of the missing pages and are much nearer their goal of making the manuscript whole again. The crown, known in English as the Aleppo Codex, may not be as famous as the Dead Sea Scrolls, but to many scholars it is even more important because it is considered the definitive edition of the Bible for Jewry worldwide. Yes, this is more a validation of the Holy Bible, and these be the end times, last days, transition days, and these are more signs, and there are many.